All right. So I kind of wanted to speak about the chakra system and, you know, our entire energy field that gets talked about a lot in spirituality, meditation. They always say align your chakras, open them up. Don't allow your chakras to be blocked. But, you know, the energy that they say runs through our chakras, that chi, whatever you want to call it, the kundalini, you know, that energy has to come from somewhere. So if you really think about it, there's 7 chakras, but we have 9 numbers in our numerical system. So the 7 chakras aren't complete. So if we were to complete the energy system that gives us life, that gives us that potential to grow and to create and to do all these things, we have to complete the system. So if we look at 8 and we look at 9, let's add 2 more centers to our chakra system to allow this to be complete and make sense. And the way I'm going to do this is let's bring up the topic of religion. What does religion go into? It goes into the idea of a heaven, worlds above, and a hell, the worlds below. Now, in the middle, we have our 7 chakras, where the energy systems lie. But that pure energy that comes from heaven, that radiation of a force, of a power, the light shines down and provides all that energy for the plants to grow, to receive energy, to that energy, right? Now, those plants are also rooted deep into the ground, into that darkness, what religion likes to call is hell. But if you look at it a little bit deeper, it's not just heaven and hell. It's actually the masculine and the feminine. Now, men, we offer that divine spark, that pure energy and power that penetrates the woman's egg, that divine egg, which is in the abyss, which is in the womb, in the cave, the darkness. Now, when we provide our divine spark into the divine egg, it creates a human being. Now, this entire aspect is what allows the rest of the chakras to develop. So we've been looking at the chakra system as incomplete because we're forgetting that there has to have that masculine radiation of a force and that reception, that magnetic receiving of that force, which would be the feminine. Now, if you look at the role of a father and a mother, when the woman becomes pregnant, it starts the process of nurturing, cultivation, growing. She protects the baby inside her womb, which is a cave, which doesn't have light. It's pure darkness in there. And she is providing that vessel for that being to grow and to become a human life. Now, when the baby is born, we add in the light. It gets to see light for the first time. And now all that external stimulus begins to hit the baby. And this is a very crucial period that the baby needs to be protected because there's a lot of forces in this world that could be harmful. Now, as the baby grows, the mother's role is still to protect, to nurture, to cultivate this baby into a full adult human. So this is the purpose of the mother. The mother's role is to keep that baby safe, keep the baby nurtured, allow him or her to grow. And now sometimes this role can become obsessive. Because what happens when that baby turns 13, 14, they start turning into an adult, they hit puberty, and they're really becoming a self-sufficient being. The mother might even still latch on. They might tell their child, don't do that, honey. That's unsafe. That's dangerous. And then they begin to shelter their child, which becomes obsessive, and it holds back the child, and it holds back the development of our psychology and our role in the world. A lot of the times, the mother protects the child from the father, because if you realize the father's role is to provide that radiation that will damage the child. But this damage is necessary, because you have to stretch the muscle, you have to provide that energy, which is very potent and very powerful. So it begins to break down that body, and through the breaking down and through that destruction, the baby creates stronger muscle, stronger resiliency. It gains that discipline and that body that can handle the radiation and that pure potency from the father. See, the father encourages children to take risks, to do these things, to suck it up. You're stronger than this. You can do it. Go talk to that person. Go play on that sports team. Go do all these things. Take in all this knowledge. See, the father, this is the other interesting aspect, is the father can also become obsessive. The father could be too potent and too powerful, and it could destroy the child. So if we're talking about balance and to provide the most optimized and efficient development and growth of a human being, the father and the mother have to be aligned. The father has to do the proper amount of potent penetration of energy, of knowledge, of experience. And the mother has to allow that child and that development to happen, and to be there ready for, if that energy becomes too much, she'll nurture the child. She'll heal. That's another thing, is the mother is supposed to heal and regulate, not always shelter, So the child could go through a really interesting experience that was very challenging and painful, and the mother can be right there to heal them back to full. And once they're there, they learn that experience and they grow from it. So this is why so many humans don't accomplish their most efficient potential, and to find that balance is because the aspect of the father and the mother is not balanced in their life. So this is very crucial to allow humans to develop properly and to move from adolescent psychology to adult psychology. You have to have that balance. Now, if you look at the chakra systems, if there's 9 chakras, we have the divine womb and the divine spark. Then we have our root chakra. This takes care of all the necessities, our water, our food, basic survival. Then we go to the sacral chakra, and that's our sexual health, all of that good stuff. Then the third chakra, which is our ambition, our willpower. Then we go to the fourth chakra, and this is the important one, because the heart is in the very center of both of these forces. Now, this color of the center is green. Now, if you really think about that, a green light allows progress, allows forward motion. A red light stops progress. If we're always in survival, if we're always scared, if we don't meet all of the needs, and if there is danger and pain and suffering, we can't progress. We have to stop. So these colors are very important. So I believe, and I think I know that the real secret to balance and for productivity and for the development of a human being to be their happiest and to express love, which is in the fourth chakra, by the way. It's the heart chakra. It's the love chakra. If we are trying to get to our most authentic selves, we have to merge the divine spark, that divine energy, the masculine principle, and we have to merge that divine feminine, the womb that shelters and protects us. We have to merge them in our heart, our very center. If a human being can accomplish this and live their entire life through their heart, not always listening to their mind and not always listening to their impulses and their emotions and their body, but they go to their heart, I think this is where the soul is located, and I think this is where the purpose and the secret is. If you look at Norse mythology, they have 9 worlds. You have the Aesir, which would be heaven, and you have Helheim, which is at the very bottom. You have all these worlds in the middle, the 7 worlds, that have the dwarfs, the giants, all these cool things. But in the very center of the Yggdrasil, where all 9 worlds are located, you have Midgard. That's where we are right now. This could be the purpose of a human being, is to unlock that full potential in their heart chakra. That green color where everything comes together and balanced. And the last thing I would say is, I believe there is 2 directions for both ends of the spectrum. You know, if you look at the Father, he's radiating, right? So he's producing very potent, powerful energy, which shoots down into Midgard, into the world. The Father penetrates everything. He destroys, he creates, he provides that power. Now, if he's doing that, that's one force going into the world. But there's also another force, which is Ascension. So we always have this drive to get to the top of the mountain, to climb the hierarchy, to get to rise and transcend. That's another force of the masculine principle of the Father. That is in our essence. So those 2 forces, one going up, one going down into the world. If you look at the divine feminine, there's also 2 forces. There's protection, which roots everything into the cave. The mother always wants to shelter human beings and anything in general. It doesn't want it to die. It wants to keep it safe. That is another direction that goes down. Now, the other side of the feminine is cultivation, is growth, nurture, regulate, heal. The other aspect of the mother is the upward direction, is to get that body to grow, to make sure it's safe, to make sure it can cultivate and get bigger so the plant can grow and then the lotus can form and to reach its maximum potential. So I believe now it's 4 forces, the 4th chakra. If these 4 forces are balanced, where you have the upward direction and the downward direction, where you ascend, but you're also shooting out and radiating into the world, which will align you in the center, and then the feminine, which will cultivate, which will also shoot you in the up direction, but also have discipline, have that safety, that security, which pushes down. So these 4 forces, if they are balanced and they are aligned and all working together and they're merged, it all comes in to the center, to the heart. And if you look at a human body, this is our electromagnetic center. You can hook up the heart to an electric device and it pulses, right? So if you look at the Father, that's the electric. If you look at the mother, it's the magnetic. It attracts all the iron, all the metals to stabilize and protect. And then the Father is the electric. It provides that power, that energy for the metal that the mother accepts and attracts. So just kind of cool to look to kind of complete this chakra model. But I believe the secret is in the heart, balancing both forces of duality, that heaven and that hell, which I don't believe hell is all that bad, because hell is just as important as heaven. And the mother is just as important as the father. And most important of all is our heart. Thank you for listening.